Welcome back to Autism at Home, brought to you by us at Early Autism Project Malaysia through our non-profit initiative, The Hope Project. My name is Joshabet Isaacs and it's so nice to see you again. I'm here today with Yu Chen, one of our senior supervisors at EAP.
Welcome to our 20th Autism at Home series on community trips. The first introduction lesson highlighted the specific challenges that may occur in the community. Then in lesson 2, we talked about having a successful eating out experience before grocery shopping in lesson 3, and in lesson 4, we talked about going to shopping malls and going to playgrounds and parks in lesson 5. Then we talked about going to the cinema in lesson 6 before going to the doctors in lesson 7. In this final lesson, we will be talking about going to the dentist.
Okay, let's be honest. None of us have a positive association with the dentist. Surely, right? Do you, Yu Chen?
No.
Do put in the comments below if you anticipate or cringe at the idea of going to the dentist. But the truth is that we all need to go, and certainly the earlier, the better.
Now, we can already imagine the potential challenging behaviors a child or even an adult will demonstrate at the dentist. And a huge part is due to those 5 key community skills. Let's recap what those 5 areas are. Pop quiz time. Well, which of these are the 5 key community skills? The ability to cooperate, the ability to be flexible, the ability to tolerate, two-way communication, the ability to learn the actual expectation, or none of the above. Quite easy, yes? The answers are A, B, C, D, and E. If you have gotten that, good for you! Let's go into a bit of more detail of those 5 key areas, but let's start with the actual expectation first this time. Similar to the doctor, a child will need to go into the dentist clinic, wait in the waiting area for a bit, sit or rather lay down in that special dentist chair, open their mouth and then tolerate all the different aspects of the dentist instructions, such as the tools in their mouth, be it the dentist mirror, the tooth explorer, the electric toothbrush, the saliva ejector, the dental water jet, and perhaps even an x-ray. A child may also need to be able to gargle their mouth and spit into the little sink next to them. These are a lot of specific instructions and skills that we would definitely encourage to teach individually at home.
This is why we kept this to the last one. It's probably the most challenging, and especially in the area of tolerance. A child will need to be able to tolerate not only the dentist in a white coat and the clinic, but also that dentist chair as well as the dentist tools in their mouth. Not to mention if they already have an aversion to brushing teeth, or worse, they may already have some cavities. So we would encourage parents to help build a tolerance and try to desensitize your child to those areas by firstly working on brushing teeth, and then gradually the dental tools in their mouth at home.
Then, additionally, some core foundational skills like cooperation, just the basic ability to cooperate, listen to instructions, sit nicely will be really important as a prerequisite for those first 2 more challenging areas.
And with that, flexibility too, as a child needs to be able to tolerate waiting, possibly some changes and not getting what they want when they want. For example, if the doctor says no sweets anymore or no sugary items.
Then, in the area of two-way communication, the main thing to take note of it is that the communication to children should ideally be done in the manner they understand best. And this is usually through visuals. If your child understands social stories or video models best, consider using these tools. If it's through visual schedules, consider using this method more often. Not forgetting they too should use the communication method that they are very confident or fluent in, be it through verbal ability or an alternative communication method. Sesame Street has a great video on going to the dentist, which you can watch on YouTube too. And of course, who can forget the Brush Brushy Brush Elmo song that you can definitely use as well. Now, even as we explain all those 5 areas, we do need to actually teach these skills at home first, and so they come under the 90% of our focus and energy teaching strategies. Along with that is the area of preventative strategies, which are the following 5 areas: planning your trip, preparing your child, practicing at home, packing your bag, and preparing for the worst.
Planning for the trip to the dentist, what does that include? Well, as with all the previous lessons, is to choose a suitable dental clinic. One that is perhaps smaller, less crowded, and preferably a pediatric dentist who has some experience with children with autism. If the dentist is one that is familiar, you could discuss a gradual desensitization process, whereby you bring your child to the dentist, but maybe just to the waiting area, then go home. then maybe they just sit on the dental chair and even just see it and then go home. You could even discuss if it's possible to build a tolerance to a specific dentist and to request for the same dentist each time to make it easier for your child. And so again, with all the previous lessons, you want to start as successfully as possible, gradually increase the time duration, gradually increase the expectations as well.
Then prepare your child. This is mainly the part where one of the 5 key community skills, two-way communication, is emphasized on. So to ensure super clear communication to your child, here are some of the strategies we would recommend, and all usually visuals. First, a social story which helps to visually communicate the key details to your child, or as listed earlier, video models would be very helpful for this particular skill as well. Then, a visual schedule, which can be included in the social story itself. A simple visual schedule would include the flow for the trip. This tool helps your child understand what is happening next, in the moment. This can also help reduce the anxiety when they are in a new environment. A visual rule card can be very helpful, and it can include the basic expectation for community skills, which are stay with me, listen to parents, and nice hands. In this case, you may need to add sit nicely and open mouth. A visual token board, which could also go hand in hand with the rule card and the schedule. You could consider using either a token board, or for those with more understanding, you could even use a traffic light system. And of course, we always need to have a way for your child to communicate to you as well, and this could be visuals too.
Thirdly, practice at home. How we would do this is presuming your child has some basic cooperation and is able to sit at a learning table. We would then read the social story and watch a video model. You could have the dental tools out on the table, so as you go through the social story and the video model, you could let your child just look at those items and play with them, or even pretend to play on a doll or model it on yourself. These are all gradual ways of desensitizing your child to those dental tools. Then you would go over the visual schedule, which will communicate the expectations to your child, and then step by step try to go through the expectations. You may feel there's a specific area that you really need to break down further, especially maybe tolerating those dental tools, and you may need to really break that down further to tolerating a toothbrush and then maybe an electric toothbrush first. Or you may even find that you need to teach your child how to gargle and spit, so you may need to focus a bit further and practice that first. Also remember, even during the practice, don't forget to pair it with reinforcement. For something as big as going to the dentist, the iPad may be the best tool to use to distract them during the treatment, or if they're able to tolerate, to pair it first dentist, then iPad. And of course, the ABA third strategy of sufficient practice. Remember to always ensure that any skill you want your child to work on requires frequent practices. Our Unit 16 on a daily guide provides the guidelines you can follow on how to include practices within your daily routines at home with your child based on their age group.
And therefore, as with all the previous lessons, we remind all parents to pack your bag. As usual, the standard backpack a child needs to bring needs to include snacks, water bottle, a change of clothes, sanitizer or wet wipes, and of course activities to occupy your child and to redirect as well. This bag should be labeled clearly in case it gets lost, or in case your child gets lost, do put an ID tag on your child too for extra precaution. Of course, the usual visuals for communication would include social story, visual schedule, visual rules and token board, as well as packs for requesting. Then additionally though, for going to the dentist, you may need a much stronger reward and some special calming toys like a soft toy or even noise cancellation headphones or a weighted blanket, especially when they are laying down on the dental chair.
Lastly, prepare for the worst. Some of the challenging behaviors demonstrated by children with autism may be triggered by anything, so it's important to always keep your child successful. To do this well and to do it all the time, it's also important to work together with your spouse, your family, your relatives, friends, and whoever else who's willing to join you in taking your child out to the community. When you see those signs of behavior possibly happening, try your level best to prevent it. But especially at the dental clinic, it feels so much more likely that those challenging behaviors will be present due to the high demands that even us as adults may feel. So if while waiting, you can hear your child starting to make some protesting sounds and seeming to get a bit more restless or wanting to leave, it would be better to try to use some activities to redirect and distract, such as maybe busy books or calming activities or even some screen time while waiting. We would also encourage a few more steps to prepare yourself for the worst when visiting the dentist.
Speak to the clinic staff in advance and seek their understanding should you need any help to increase your child's success. In the event your child has a major meltdown, the clinic staff can help you carry your belongings to the car and help you put your child safely in their car seat.
At the clinic, you may also need to prepare yourself for the possibility that your child gets accidentally physically wounded during the treatment. So let's say they're lying down and coping well, but as the dentist starts conducting maybe scaling or using their tools, your child makes a sudden move, causing an accidental cut with the tool. So the dentist would hopefully know what to do and hopefully be able to treat the wound. But you may need to, with the help of the other clinic staff, help to hold your child down for the dentist to treat that wound. And if possible, continue and complete the treatment.
Letting your child have a weighted blanket on their lap or on the dental chair, or wear noise-cancelling headphones with their favorite songs or gentle music playing can help calm them down in case they get overwhelmed.
Additionally, considering your child may be doing some waiting for their turn, they could also occupy themselves with some of those age-appropriate activities that they could successfully engage in on their own. Alternatively, you could also speak to the clinic staff and request for a special accommodation for your child to be allowed in immediately with a very minimal waiting period.
Okay, now the 10% of the reactive strategies. I think it's time for another pop quiz. What can you do if your child starts crying, then perhaps hitting you or lying down on the floor and kicks around while screaming? Read the social story and give the activities from the back to engage in. Show the reward and use the token board. Pick him up, head to the car and head home. Give him the iPad and remind him of the expectations. First of all, take a deep breath, as deep as you can. Then, best to show your child the rule card or the traffic light card. You could try to redirect your child to an activity to keep going, or else to get another adult, preferably the clinic staff, to help you with your belongings. Pick up your child, head to the car and head home. That might just be the best thing to do, considering if the behavior starts escalating to code red. When you do get home, get another family member to help you take your child in and give yourself some time to also calm down. Then, regroup with your spouse and other family members to debrief with them on what happened before, the first behavior was observed and what escalated it. Then, plan to reattempt this visit after a short break from that visit.
Now it's your turn. Check and assess which part of the dental visit is the most challenging for your child. Is it the sight of the dentist or the clinic itself? Or is it waiting in the waiting room for their turn? Maybe it's sitting still in the dental chair? Maybe tolerating the dentist's instructions and the tools in their mouth? Or perhaps it's the length of time of the treatment. Then plan your teaching strategies to address the areas of concern relevant to your child based on the list above, and remember to break it down, pair with reinforcement, and provide sufficient practice. Then plan your 5 Ps and start to practice. Plan your trip, prepare your child, practice at home, pack your bag, and prepare for the worst.
Well, that's it for this final lesson on community trips, ending on going to the dentist. We really hope that these lessons have been helpful for you, your child, and your family. And please do comment below if you have been able to follow along and it's been successful. Please do share with us your experience and also your feedback. We would love to hear from you. Till the next series, do take care and we will see you very soon. Thank you for your support, and with the amount of interest we have received online, we have actually started providing online services and currently work with clients in other states of Malaysia, New Zealand, Philippines, Singapore, Switzerland, Indonesia, China and Brunei as well. So do scan this QR code and get in touch with us for more information.
And if you haven't already, do check out our free online resource platform, Autism at Home, which has all the corresponding articles and downloadables for you. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram and Facebook to stay updated.
Autism at Home is brought to you by the Hope Project, which is the non-profit arm of Early Autism Project Malaysia. All the content development, our clinical expertise and time is completely borne by the EAP Malaysia, and the production of these videos so far are funded solely through donations and fundraising.
If you found these resources helpful and would like to contribute in some way, please do pledge a donation at autismmalaysia.com/thehopeproject. Take care and we will see you soon.